Hi guys, Dave here. So I met these two absolute powerhouses, Leon and Mike, at the Fit Expo the other week. Young, driven and razor sharp with a brand that punches way above its weight. I was generally blown away by the clarity of their vision and the quality of their execution. Two young lads from North Wales, I believe, or Liverpool, both uni mates who turned a shared idea into a premium functional snack brand. And they've only just started. We sat down for a chat on the podcast. They didn't know this was coming, by the way, and I dropped a curveball. Let's dive into the creatine game together. Welcome to the supplement world, lads. Let's build gents. Special.
Right.
So everyone watching this have just dropped this on them. They literally come down from meeting. So we met 2 weeks ago at FitX. I really like this bar. I think I saw the bar on the way in the morning, I think when we were setting up, or the night before. I was lucky enough then to start chatting with these guys. So without further ado, boys, introduce yourselves first.
After you, my friend.
So my name is Mike, and I'm the co-founder of Hustle Health Bar.
Yeah, so we founded Hustle. My name's Leon. It's the world's first bar with 19 grams of protein and 5 grams of creatine in. It's got electrolytes to keep you hydrated. It's got vitamins and minerals to keep you energized and to build up your immunity. It's like an all-round encompassing bar for athletes of any sort of standard or discipline.
And I'm just going to say this, like, not that it's a bad thing, just I'm 42 soon. Mike, you're what, 20?
20.
23?
23.
We just finished uni last week.
Yeah, I think you dropped that on me in the warehouse before I've only just finished uni. But lads, I said it before and I said on camera, it's not very often I see a brand that I think it stands out. And you've gone into a market that's very saturated and you both carry yourselves extremely well. So this literally is, I think, an honest look into probably, or I want to delve into how you guys probably know each other, how this started, how you've put together such what I think right now looks like a really nice polished proposition so early. So how did you guys know each other?
So we actually met in the first year of uni, first week of uni in a marketing lecture. Mike was sat behind me. I was woefully underprepared, forgot to take a pen to uni. So I turned around and said, "Excuse me, mate, do you have a pen I could borrow?" Then we started chatting, realised that we're very like-minded, a lot of discussions about starting a business one day and things like that. And yeah, rest flourished from there, I guess.
Yeah, so as Leon said, we met in the first week of uni, and then throughout like the 2-year span, we'd always talk about financial freedom, starting a business.
Yeah.
We don't want to work a 9 to 5. But I remember I gave Leon one of my books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'd say from like the beginning, since we met, we had a really similar mindset of just financial freedom.
Yeah, I like
and then, because Leon, he's been doing jiu-jitsu for how long, like 10 years now?
11 years, 12 years now.
So you just do whatever he says?
Yeah,
try not to piss him off too much. Yeah, so he's been taking creatine for a long time, and he introduced me to creatine, like this magic supplement. And he came up with the idea to put it into a bar, and he did it at home. But it was a great idea, you can tell them.
Oh, yeah. So essentially, I wish I had a super exciting story as to how I came up with the idea to put the creatine in the bar. I didn't. I was on holiday. I don't like sunbathing. I like to keep active. And I was really bored sunbathing because nobody wanted to do anything for the day. And it just popped into my head. So I started making them in my kitchen at home. They were terrible. I wouldn't have given them to a dog to eat. They were awful. 13 attempts later, I had to sell my car to fund it. We had savings. They are now gone. 13 recipe variations later that were either too dry, too soft, too bland. We came up with what we've got now.
It's good.
Yeah.
Which is, and so I don't even think, this is the first one of its kind or not?
Yeah, so there are other bars with creatine on the market.
Who though? No, because I can't. That's interesting. I didn't even know off the top of my head. And I've been in the game quite well.
So there's Warrior protein bars. Have got a bar with creatine.
Okay, fine, but they're not known for that, are they?
No, and
they're a massive brand.
Massive brand. They put 3 grams of creatine in, which is less than your daily intake recommended anyway.
Yeah.
And they didn't market it very hard either. They just kind of dropped the product out there and kind of let it sit. Whereas we've taken a different angle. We've got the 19 grams of protein and your whole daily intake of creatine. When we saw that Warrior launched this creatine box, it's relatively new. We decided to put the electrolytes and the vitamins in to sort of give ourselves that extra spin.
Turns into more of a bit of a functional bar then.
Yeah, exactly. So it is, to the best of our knowledge, it is the world's first with the 19 grams of protein and the 5 grams.
Hey, we're going to go with that, right? We're going with the world's first.
Yeah, world's first.
UK's first, certainly.
At least, yeah.
The daily recommended dose of creatine, which is 5 grams as well. It's like over 10,000 studies.
It's the most researched supplement on the planet.
Yeah, absolutely. There are some studies coming out recently that sort of show how it can combat the symptoms of neurodegenerative diseases.
Cognitive benefits.
Yeah, so like Parkinson's and things like
Alzheimer's,
that.
ALS,
Huntington's.
Yeah, everything. You should be taking creatine. I saw this little reel on Instagram, and it was like, what would I say to, or who should take creatine, and well, what should you need to be doing to take creatine, something like that. And it just said, are you human? So everybody should be taking creatine.
Agreed. I mean, Joe Rogan's been championing it for ages. I mean, I remember guys. Oh, I don't know. He's not in the room, is he? Oh, he is. Remember years ago, people were saying you had to load in phase on it, and you could only stay on it for a while. I mean, and now what? The upper limits are like 20 grams.
Yeah, some people are taking up to 25.
Yeah. So look, I really enjoy it. So, what did you both do at uni? What were you studying?
Same course.
Business management. Yeah.
Business. There you go. So they've been there. How long was uni?
3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glad you did it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of benefits to uni, definitely.
Yep.
Obviously, we met there. There was a lot of opportunities. Our uni gave us some really exciting funding opportunities, networking
Nice.
and things like that, which was great. I don't think uni's the be all or end all. You know, you can be hyper successful without uni.
Yeah.
You can be unsuccessful with uni.
Agreed.
Based on what you class as success as, obviously. But yeah, I think personally, uni was good. There's a lot to be said for the development of AI and diluting the accreditation and things like that. But we don't have to go into that. It's a heavy topic, that really.
In all fairness, we wouldn't have found Hustle if it wasn't for uni. Because we met each other on the course, but also as linking back to like the origin story of a Hustle bar. So Leon came up with a concept, and then last summer, like August time, I was going through it. Handshake is a portal for like job opportunities, and we saw something called the Enterprise Fund, which was like a university grant for entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So I sent that to Leon and said, "Oh, do you still remember your like creatine bar idea?" So when we both like came back into Liverpool, that's where we study. Shout out to the University of Liverpool, where we came into. We just met at a library one time, and as a joke, started filling out the business plan. And
Nice.
as we went through the business plan, you know, external, internal factors, pestle, swap, target demographics, all of that stuff, we found out that it's actually it's an amazing opportunity for a business, right? And we did market research; it hadn't been done before. You know, the creatine market was growing, 10% compound annual growth rates. It's just such an amazing product, and it's just creatine, which is like this wonder supplement. We could talk about all the benefits later, and then in a convenient format.
Yeah.
Which
Agreed.
is what everyone needs.
I don't think it needs that much selling, to be honest. It's great to watch you two banging little salesmen. I'll give you that. But I think you're in the sweet spot. I think it's in its format. It's not oversaturated. I think in its conventional look, you've seen outside. We've got gummies coming. We've got that just took a massive battering in the press. Fair play to the Chinese. Been selling the most expensive sweets for about 2 years.
£20 for a pack of
to us Westerners, like great stuff. But I think in its own right, it's good. I think for me, being a bit older, it's how can you put it in different formats that make it more available to a broader spectrum of people.
100%.
You've been at the sharp end of sport. Jiu-jitsu, I'm sure we all know, is like what you're rolling around the mat fucking hours and hours on in the week.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I love the branding. So, who's responsible for Hustle? Where did that come from?
Who's responsible for Hustles and start
The name.
The name, that was myself. So for months, I was umming and ahhing. It was.
There's no words left, is there? There's no domains left of anything that makes
ridiculous,
sense.
yeah. So I was using ChatGPT, just typing in creatine bar name ideas, and trying to find stuff.
Yeah.
For months, there was a phase. It was going to be called the Change Bar. There was like Mono Power Bar and things like that.
Create bar.
Create bar was an option too, but yeah, mono for creatine monohydrate. Like, all sorts of play on word things. But then I saw, similar to this on air sign you've got here, I saw one that said hustle, and I was like, you know what, I like that because it incorporates
Or connotation, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's about the branding, so it incorporates the fact that you're hustling every day, you're working hard, you're striving to be the best version of yourself, and this is the perfect product to do it, because the other ways of taking creatine are a nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
Mate, I remember when you were mixing it in fucking water back when My Protein was doing it,
Yeah.
and it was like it just float on the top.
Just
Sediment.
sits there, and then when you finish drinking out your glass or whatever, there's always like a little stream of sediment, so you're not getting your daily intake. It's not efficient, it makes a mess, it tastes terrible.
Listen,
managed to
anyone
mitigate
watching this, right? If this isn't going to fail, but these two can sell. You know what I mean? If you ain't buying this fucking bar by now, you ain't. For out of Hustle, then, what input do you have in the mic? Where was your
Outside of Hustle?
Yeah, what was so you pushed the enterprise investment piece?
Yeah. I just found a document. I was looking for like graduate jobs.
Yeah.
I wasn't even supposed to be third year for uni. I was supposed to do a placement, but thank God, I stayed.
Packaging was all you as well, wasn't it? Really?
I designed the packaging as well.
Looks mint.
And the website.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
And the website. So we had a nightmare with our graphic designers.
So
Absolute disaster with them.
Scammed. Yeah.
So it was, long story short, it was going to delay our production process. So we were like, right, this guy, locked in, taught himself Adobe Photoshop over 3 days,
Really?
designed the entire packaging.
Yeah.
Fucking hard work that is as well.
Absolute hero.
And
Ridiculous.
we had to do it before the production date because everything was set in
Like,
stone.
yeah.
And we were waiting on our graphic designer who promised to deliver in about, what was it, a month?
Well, the initial
Even
package
Those
said 3
creators,
weeks.
they're just steady people.
Yeah, the initial package
Yeah.
said 3 weeks turnaround on the graphic design, then turned into 6 weeks.
What?
The first concept we had a spelling error in it. They put, I'm not going to call out the company name, but it said, they wrote creative infused protein at the bottom instead of creatine. It's like, what even is that?
Someone was multitasking.
Yeah, disaster really. So then this guy put on his cape and
So where talk me through this, because there's something I always say with any brands we work with to scale, especially from my time in FMCG. You know, I envisage everything. What does it look like on a shelf? So when we did some of the toilet roll stuff, literally at the time, me and business partner stood in Tesco on a Friday night, like pounding up and down the toilet roll aisle, having a look what stands out.
yeah.
You know, for me, that's the blocking of that. If you start to put 2 or 3 things, especially when you do flavour variations, I bet it's going to look really powerful to stop
Yeah.
someone on that browse.
Yeah.
Where did that come from then, when you were thinking of it?
I suppose, I think it does link back to the enterprise fund, and Leon was responsible for the target demographic section.
Okay.
It's a busy individual, cares about his health, doesn't want to compromise on either taste or nutrition, right?
Yeah.
It's clean, it's pristine, it's a premium brand.
It's a professional brand.
It's very professional, right? So we just wanted that clean aesthetic.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's really,
Yeah,
we
the
don't want
bold-
to clutter it, too many images.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's very, very basic graphic design, and there'll be 1,000 people that can go into more detail on it. But a lot of premium brands,
But why? Let me ask this. And also, when we're watching this back, guys, this is such a nice position because you've got real good answers for the way you've done this. Hopefully, people watch this and learn. That's kind of what we said when we started this. Why does that need to be any different?
Do you mean the psychology behind the
Yeah,
design?
this is just in it because you've got a real honest approach from someone who's been in and around brands for years. When we walked past your desk, it was the night before.
Yeah.
Then when you come over, I remembered seeing it. I was like, oh, that's that fucking white brand that looked really clinical.
Yeah.
Left did the right impression, got over the message really easily. You've earmarked, especially in the food ingredients world, there's a couple of things you do lean on, and it's like your best selling points, which you clearly do. You've got a nice punchy tagline. That picture just of the food, the chocolate and the strawberry or whatever raspberries I can't see from here, just makes me want to eat it. It got me hungry. So I think you've nailed it.
yeah, I think making a lot of use of empty space is important for like the premium punchiness of a brand.
Yeah.
So obviously it's black bold text for the branding, and then a lot of like white clean aesthetic.
QR code on there.
Yeah, QR code takes you to our website, hustlebar.co.uk.
Get there. Put it here. But also then that's a freedom then to do some on-pack activations, right? If you think about that. So it's
Well-
already on your POS, so you can do on-pack. So
Yeah.
if you launched, so I collabed with Anytime Fitness, TRX, Hyper Ice, 2 years ago, and we did like basically change your life in a year's free membership, a year's supply of lifelines, a year's access to TRX. It literally was a £5.5 package to change someone's life.
Yeah.
By using QR codes though on your packaging, you can spin the messaging quite quickly instead of wasting stuff like POS in store where you can burn a load of money.
Yeah.
So that's quite a good. The fact you've got it on there already is not only a signpost to your website, it gives you freedom to promote stuff.
Absolutely. It's all about convenience, really, isn't it? Because, you could make the argument that someone goes to Starbucks, Costa, whatever, spends £4.50 on a coffee, when in reality...
What they retail at?
These, £32 a box, £2 a bar, or in the gyms, we do
that.
wholesale pricing and things like that too.
Nice.
We
So
recommend...
It's competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. Gyms, we recommend £2.50 a bar RRP for a gym when they're selling it on a desk, but some gyms that we stock in charge more, some charge less, they're still selling, so it's up to the gym to then decide what sort of margin they want to make.
And did we speak the other day, you were in the most expensive, I'm going to say this the other way around because it's staggering me. Is there a gym in the country that charges £350 a month?
There is, yeah, Knutsford. Yeah.
And you were there, right?
We called in, we dropped off some bars, awaiting some feedback. Hopefully it's all gone pretty good with that.
Good.
But yeah, it's gym in Knutsford, really, really beautiful place.
And here's imagine for fucking £350 a month.
Yeah.
Here's another one. So remember, this is for like people to take away stuff. How did you get in there? What was the?
I think,
Okay, well, the mindset that we've adopted since we started this business is just like risk it. We just take the first step. We don't really let
Yeah.
our negative thoughts off. We just take the first step, keep
Make a
going,
move.
keep going, keep plowing. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're consistent, right? I guess you
you
just.
just
Some
yeah.
people say pester. I say consistency.
and be
You-
confident.
Try,
with it.
try,
So-
try, try,
Pest-
try.
Yeah, exactly. Pestering's the right word. You can't have you putting your time, money, and effort into a brand that you're launching. You can't be like, oh, I don't want to disturb it.
Spot on.
You know, you've got to just annoy people into listening to you,
Yep.
and eventually you'll have the right meeting that leads to the right conversation that leads to where you want to be. Because what we have noticed a lot is starting a business is about who you talk to and who you meet and things like that, and saying the right thing at the right time. Because you can have a great idea, but if you just sit there and you don't say anything,
No
you don't do
one
anything
will ever
about
know.
it, no one will know.
And not luck doesn't exist. I believe luck is when hard work meets opportunity.
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
probably a better way to frame exactly what you two are. Literally, you could. Where is it? Which Liverpool uni?
A University of
Yeah.
Liverpool.
University of
Liverpool,
Liverpool.
yeah.
Well, I'm normally a little bit. So I didn't do well. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say education, but I left and joined the army at 16. So education is not something I lean into a lot. I like to get involved in this part of educating to business. But yeah, I'm sometimes been probably a little bit too anti the educational method of
Sure.
Harvard Business School or something. But you two,
Yeah.
mate, fair play. What's coming up then? What's next?
We got a lot. Go on, Mike.
I was just gonna say many flavors.
So what flavour's this?
It's dark chocolate and raspberry. This
Dark
one.
chocolate and raspberry. That's it. So, I mean, this has been out what, a year,
No, 2 months.
2 months. Fucking hell. So you're already thinking about flavour variations.
Yeah.
So what would be after this then?
So we've just done a poll on our Instagram.
Yep.
We've got 4 options. We're going to do 3 of them.
Yeah.
So we've got salted caramel, chocolate orange, chocolate brownie, and this one, chocolate raspberry.
And why did you start with those 4? Just because you like them?
It's where the data points. So initially,
Nice.
when we started, we thought the dark chocolate and raspberry, and the rationale behind that was dark chocolate and raspberry are both nootropics. They're both good for your brain. They're both that all-encompassing holistic health approach. Whereas, yeah, a lot of people do really like it, but we have had some people say, not a fan of dark chocolate. So every day's a school day, especially in business, you know. So,
Oreo.
yeah, another one that's super popular, cookies and cream, things like that. But yeah, so now we're deciding that our next flavors are going to be where the demand lies. So we look at the data, we do
Nice.
polls on our social media,
That's what
and we go
people
down
want.
there.
We'll
Yeah,
just go for what people want.
Go for what
We
people
want to build a
want.
community as well.
Yeah.
Unlike some competitors, we actually we want to elevate people. That's the whole point. We want to get people
I
hustling.
like that.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
I like that. So do you have an ambassador program, affiliate program people can get
Yeah.
involved in?
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
Okay.
we've got a couple really good, passionate athlete affiliates at the minute.
In fact, I met, who was the
Dylan
Dylan,
and Evie at the
fucking
Expo.
19-year-old giant?
Yeah.
he's a cool
20,
kid.
natural bodybuilder,
Really cool kid.
shredded guy.
Yeah.
Super talkative, really passionate about the
Represented
branding.
you well.
Lucky to have him with us. He's off to America soon, so his spot's up for replacement. If anybody
There you go. You
wants to
did.
reach out.
So I guess we've got, as I said, we pretty much sprung this on you guys. I was just keen to listen to your story. I think what you're doing is incredible. Always good to meet like-minded entrepreneurs.
Thank you.
Fucking love the product. I guess in the with time in mind, because you've not got all day. If you were to, I mean, we'll look back on this hopefully, guys, in a few years, and you'll probably we'll find it a bit nostalgic. But if you had to give 3 bits, if I can not, it's not restricted to 3, but you got the chance to sit there. You're a year into an idea, 2 months into making it. Clearly got a very good idea of where you need to go and how to do it. What would be some advice? Two things each to give to anyone watching this around if you've got an idea what to do.
Okay, so very good questions for one. I would say doesn't necessarily have to be applicable to business, but someone told me this little quote, and I know quotes are dead cheesy on podcasts, but I've been thinking about it.
Let's go with it. We're on a podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. It was find something you die for and live for it. So you just got to find something that you're passionate about, build yourself a passion project, and 100% push it with everything you got. Like you can't do too much work. You'll have times that it doesn't quite work. It's just another way that it doesn't work. It's not necessarily a fail, you know.
And stress comes from not hard work. It comes from working and doing work you don't want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's got to be done as well.
Yep.
You know, it's not all going to be smooth sailing. And then the other thing, I've had a couple people sort of say to me, "Oh, Leon, you've started a business, whatever. I want to start a business. How did you come up with the idea?" And The only thing I'd say, and I'm not a successful businessman whatsoever, so take it with a pinch of salt, but go about your life for a week, consciously thinking about everything that you do on the day-to-day that has a limiting factor, and then find or develop a product or service that makes that more convenient, and then do that.
Drive it.
Yeah.
like
So,
it.
for instance, for this, I was taking creatine. I hated it. So we built a product around a better way to take creatine. Because creatine as a supplement's amazing. Everybody knows that. But I was going about my day-to-day. I found that I hated how I took creatine.
You hated sunbathing.
I hate sunbathing. Yeah,
Look
boring.
for an alternative. Mate. I like
Exactly,
it.
yeah. Not going to sunbathe, I'm going to go build a business. Same sort of thing. It could be any sort of walk of life, anything that you are doing. Just find a pain point and build
Yeah.
something to address that pain point.
Agree, I like it.
Yeah.
Big Mike.
I'd say perceive yourself as the person you want to be already, then take steps to become that person.
Yep.
What else would I say? I suppose don't perceive something not going your way as a failure. If anything, it's a learning experience, and you're constantly being built up. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, yeah.
Never get dismayed. It's just consistency. Have
100%.
a goal, be consistent, and it'll work wonders. A lot of the times, the small avenues that you take end up changing your whole reality. For example, like the Fit Expo, we would never expect to be here today.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Keep have a
Agreed.
goal, keep pursuing it, stay consistent, disciplined.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a blossoming effect.
Yeah,
it just
massive.
blossoms and blossoms, and
Yeah.
you
That's
grow.
a great
Yeah.
way to describe it. I think, mate, I'll echo this to everyone. I believe failure is when you just decide to stop.
Absolutely.
Other than that, it's not a fucking failure. I think we've reframed
not.
it wrong. You have to learn. I'm definitely one of those that only learn by feeling it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
For me.
100%. It's only over when you hang up the towel, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Agreed.
The only days that matter are the ones that haven't occurred yet.
Yep.
Don't
Agreed.
Current situation.
What was
yeah.
it Conor McGregor says? Living in the past is depression. Living in the future is anxiety. Living in the moment's happiness. I think there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Kung Fu Panda quote.
Go on.
Well, it's the same sort of thing. I can't remember it word for word, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
also on Kung Fu Panda, yeah.
I think I just realised what he said.
Well, the past is history, the future's a mystery, and now is a gift.
That's why it's called the
Mate,
Present.
there
Yeah,
is
yeah.
so
Kung Fu
many
Panda.
fucking banging reels coming out of this.
If
Yeah.
you don't mind, I'll just add
No, go on.
I suppose delusional optimism. And
100%.
if you're with a like-minded person, a good business partner, I think I wouldn't have decided this myself. There's absolutely no way.
Yeah.
So if you find someone you can, align your goals with, have the same mindset, you'll do anything.
Yeah.
100%.
I couldn't have done this myself either. So yeah,
Good.
you find someone similar mindset and then hold on tight because it's not going to be easy. Like it's going to throw you around.
But it's fun.
But it's fun.
actually
Fun.
really fun.
Yeah.
so.
Just stay in touch with the vision, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Guys, look, I could sit here and talk to you boys all day, and hopefully we'll, this is the start of something pretty good in the future. So, massive thanks for having or literally jumping on at the last minute. We're going to dive off. Hopefully, we'll check in with you guys in 6 months' time or a year's time, mate. If you're happy with how this turns out, I'm sure you will be. But
Yeah.
if you've been watching, hopefully you've taken something from this. And guys, thanks for having you.
Thank
Thank
you
you so much.
Thank you very much.
And that's a wrap on today's episode with the lads from the Hustle Bar, Leon and Mike. Two young founders with a huge vision, serious drive, and a product that genuinely caught my attention from the first time I saw it. I love meeting entrepreneurs who are actually doing the work, not just talking about it, and these two are the real deal. If you've got value from this episode, if you're feeling inspired, or if you just love supporting the next wave of UK founders, do me a quick favour, hit subscribe, drop us a quick rating, and share the episode with someone who needs to hear it. The more love we get, the more conversations like this we can bring to you. Appreciate you listening. This has been Founder Files. I'm Dave Hamlet. Catch you on the next one.